Hello again, everyone out there in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch land. Thank you once again for joining us. We are here once again to bring you some epic D&D fun this evening. For those of you that have already watched Stranger Things Season 4 Part 2, please, no spoilers in chat. We would really appreciate it. Some of us haven't got to it yet. We are here to have a bit of fun. So let's sit back, relax, and by all means, join the chat as we get our game on. Here we go. Welcome back, folks, once again. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Matt, and I'm going to be your Dungeon Master once again for this evening. Shout out to Bianca, who's watching while she has some cooking time. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. With me, as always, ever vigilant, is, of course, my wonderful daughter, Charlotte. She'll be taking on the role and playing, or returning to the
most funniest person
of Yetnet, and she is indeed trying to be the most funniest person in this campaign.
in the world.
In addition, as always, we are joined by the ever stalwart Mr. Benjamin Wood. Will you please make him welcome?
Greetings all.
Greetings, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again, mate, and thank you for putting up with the craziness of my eldest. She is
How
absolutely
rude.
not how rude. It's just that's just how we roll, isn't it?
No,
What's been
he's
going on,
crazy.
mate? What's been happening in your neck of the woods?
Not much. Just working hard and hardly working, all rolled into one. It's always fun.
Pretty much. I know exactly what you mean. It's just what happens. It's par for the course. But we are here to get into the thick of it as we get ever closer to what is...
And this was my idea.
Your idea?
Yeah.
What, to do the campaign?
No, to do the live stream.
Charlotte's idea to the live stream. Not entirely sure about that. We will see what everyone else thinks
I
about
gave
it
you
in the
actually
chat.
ideas to do live streams. Thank you very much.
All right, okay. Well, anyway, enough talking about whose idea it was. Let's play some D&D.
Previously on HPG D&D Live Junior. With parts of the evil mage Glassstaff now lying all over the darkened room floor, our adventurers were engaged now with a vile beast, a Grick, that attacked our troop. With some fancy footwork and more than a little help from Nitro's Drake, the beast was barbecued to perfection. Exploring the rest of Cragmore Castle, the adventurers overheard a group of hobgoblins discussing matters of state and devised a cunning plan to fool the guards. Donning the red brand cloaks they recovered in Phandelver, Sildar and Yetnet bound Nitro and hid his weapons, convincing the hobgoblin guards that they had brought a prisoner to King Grol. Upon entering the king's chamber, they witnessed a brief conversation between the king, a dark elf, and the king's pet, a direwolf named Snarl. Failing to convince the trio that they were in fact bringing in a prisoner, Nitro brought his weapons forward and Yetnet engaged with the dark elf, an explosion of battle taking place. While our adventurers successfully dispatched their enemies, it was not without pain, as Yetnet very nearly succumbed to her wounds. With the dust settled, the adventurers discovered an unconscious dwarf slumped in a corner of the chamber, who was revealed to be none other than Gundren Rockseeker, the very patron that they had been searching for so long. With Gundren now safe, and his map leading to the mysterious Wave Echo Cave in their possession, the group is now ready to head into the Lost Mine of Phandelver.
All right, and with that, we are going to jump straight into tonight's session. We last left our adventurous troop, consisting of Yetnet, Nitro, Sildar Hallwinter, now Gundren Rockseeker, riding on the back of the giant wolf spider that has been befriended by Yetnet, which she's nicknamed Crystal. And you've made your way out into the forest next to the ruins of Cragmore Castle. And you've just heard from overhead in the distance the cries of a dragon in search of some lost nemesis. What would you like to do now that Gundren is with you and you have the map? Where would you like to go?
And there's a noise.
You've heard the noise, yes? What would you like to do?
I have a bad feeling about the noise.
It does sound quite distant. It's not on your doorstep, so to speak. It does sound like it's quite some ways away.
Well, yeah, what would you like to do? Are we going to run? Or are we going to try and hide?
I don't know. I really don't think that's... I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
Just move your hand so people can hear you in the microphone.
I really just don't hope it's Venom Fang.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how we go.
It's most likely Venom Fang.
Yetnet, make a perception check for me.
Mm.
So roll you. It's just a straight D20 roll for you.
Please give me a D20.
Oh, so trying to listen to discern just how far away this is. All you can hear is the noise, and the noise itself has you panicked a little bit, and you can't actually tell exactly how far. It doesn't sound like it's right next to you, but the roar of what sounds like this dragon, you can't tell whether it's 30 feet, 100 feet, 6 kilometers away. You can't tell that distance at all. You're more freaked out than anything else to actually pay attention. Sildar, at this point, as he's overheard the noise as well, offers his, in his infinite wisdom, some words of advice. My friends, you are looking a little worse for wear. I know myself have taken 1 or 2 licks in our combat, so perhaps it might be prudent to stick to the tree line and make our way to safety, maybe back into Phandelver. We are not too far away from that settlement where we have a chance to perhaps give some time to rest.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Good plan. But what if the noise is coming from Phandelver?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
You have no way of knowing that from your roll.
No, I just said if.
Well, I think at this point it may be prudent to potentially take our chances. Time is of the essence after all. And at that, Gundren turns, sitting on top of this giant wolf spider. Indeed, my friends, we need to make sure my brothers are safe at that Wayveco cave. I know it's time you need to maybe lick your wounds and dress your wounds, but time is of the essence. I need to know they're safe.
Okay, we'll go to Phandelver if there's not a dragon there, and if there is a dragon, we'll go to Wayveco cave.
I can get on board with that plan. Are you right with that? Shortstop.
I'm absolutely fine with it. But please, you call me shortstop, I'll stick an arrow in your butt.
You have to forgive me. It's something me and my brothers do all the time. We're always ripping on each other and giving each other a hard time. It's only meant as a term of endearment.
If I see that in front of my dragon eyes, you're getting your head cut off, mister.
Okay. Gundren shuts up entirely. The spider sort of trudges off towards the forest. And you, are you all traveling then to Phandelver?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So in traveling to Phandelver, you obviously heed Sildar's advice. You make your way through the tree line to make your way down into back into Phandelver. It takes probably the better part of a day to get there, and the sun is starting to set because the time you took at Cragmore was considerable. You find yourselves arriving in Phandelver just after sunset. It's probably about probably 7:30 night. You can see guards and watchmen moving around town, lighting street lamps and things like that as well. But it is quite dense and quite dark, and a lot of the stores are closed for the day.
Okay.
Do we go back to the inn or?
Well, I think the inn's a good place to regroup. We need to kind of rest up where they say for the night because
I do need some 9 drinks or beer.
I reckon a couple of drinks will go down nicely. I would agree.
All right, so you make your way into the Stonehill Inn. You can see it's quite an active spot. There seems to be a lot of folk who obviously have shut up their shops and come home via the inn to get a few beverages into them. As soon as you burst through the doors, you see everyone. A few people sort of look in your direction. A couple of the common folk, but then behind the bar, Toblin is there, and he's polishing a mug. He looks up straight away. He has a big, broad smile when he recognizes you on his face, but then his face turns to one of fear as he sees, you're in quite a state. Some of you have still got bandages and wounds and things that are still fresh and bleeding from scabs and wounds and from King Grol, obviously, the wounds you took in battle. Oh, my friends, what brings you? What have you been doing all this time?
We've been fighting King Grol at the Cragmore.
You've been cleaning out the Cragmores.
Yeah, and we might have defeated King Grol.
You defeated the King Grol and defeated the Cragmore goblins.
Yep.
Well, not all of the goblins, because
all.
some went out on a hunting mission that we saw, but we managed to clear a few of them out.
Yeah, he was bait.
But if you've managed to defeat the goblins in terms of maybe not all the party, but if the king is defeated, the threats ruined from this area. You've pretty much saved Phandelver.
Nope, there's a dragon nearby.
Yeah, there's a dragon. I don't know that because
Oh no, I know it.
He beckons you closer to the bar. What do you mean, dragon?
Dragon. They do the tongue thing.
He quietens you down. Don't panic the locals. They'll all go into a panic and a frenzy. And I can't have that. I need them here spending their hard-earned coin.
Okay. So we were in this. We were in a town, and there were some guys that offered us sacrifices.
You what?
Sacrifices to a dragon, which was named Venom Fang.
I can't believe it. Haven't been dragons around these parts for ages.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't at least keep people warned that this might be something, then you will have no patrons to come and spend their coin or a place for them to spend their coin in.
Aye, indeed. I see what you did there with the inn as well. The inn, because I'm in an inn. That's a very clever play on words. You're quite a smart fellow. Now, if it's true that you obviously been in seen some heavy battles, you want to take some time to you tend to your wounds, maybe get some rest. And if this is all true and you've taken care of this Cragmore menace, I'd be quite happy to comp you a couple of pints of ale in celebration.
We'll stay down here for a little bit. And also, can I order 10 drinks for all of us?
10? Oh, not just for you, for your party.
Yeah.
Right, well.
And an extra 5, please. So 15.
15 pints of ale for the Dragonborn and her friends.
Yes, I'll have the extra 5 and then
Right. And you see him snap his fingers, and a waitress comes from somewhere and he holds up a couple of fingers and she starts just pouring pints out of the keg. I'm happy to comp you a couple of those, but do you think maybe you could give me 1 or 2 gold pieces to cover the rest?
I think for 15, I'll give you about 20.
Toblin hesitates for a moment and considers your offer. That's very, very generous, but I'm afraid if I took your money, I'd be ripping you off. So
I have plenty.
All right, if you insist. And he scoops the coin into his coffers. He's got a little pouch on his person, and he serves you the drinks. You can hang around in the tavern. You can talk to some folks if you wish. Otherwise, once you finish your drinks, I'm understanding that you'll retire and take a long rest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry,
Anything you'd like to do before you have a long rest?
I think I need a long rest. I'm on 13 hit points.
Yeah, but you're down here drinking in the tavern. You haven't gone to bed yet. Okay, so from what I understand, Yetnet's going to stay up a bit later, maybe tell some stories at the bar.
Oh, no, I was going to say, let's have a party, y'all.
Let's have a party, y'all. I will get you to make a constitution save for me, please.
Constitution?
You're warranted.
Oh.
So, roll constitution.
Ooh,
okay.
Does that work?
So your con is no extra bonus. Okay, so you are you get
I
festive with
actually
the
yell
party.
it, and I yell.
Let's have a party, y'all. And then all of a sudden there's a dragonborn in the middle of the tavern. There's a dwarven bard thumping out and I was made for loving you, baby, you were made. And the dragon, Yetnet is just going off. Yetnet jumps on a table. There's people raising the roof, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And then for whatever reason, you lose track of what's happened. And you wake up and you feel this prodding in your side here, and you wake up and look over and you can see that there's Nitro standing over you with a stick poking you. You haven't even made it to bed yet. You've had so much fun, you've actually passed out from having too much fun. So you can take a long rest, but you won't be able to heal completely. You'll actually end up healing 5 points less. So take your long rest. That goes for you too, Nitro. You take your long rest as well. And then you'll need to take off 5 hit points as well for partying too hard. Let that be a lesson to everyone out there.
Yeah, don't party.
Well, you can party, just don't party too hard. No, that's right. You've got to wait for it to do its thing. So you click here.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's it.
I have.
Take long rest. Let it count down.
I did.
No, you don't let it count down. You press it straight away.
There we go. See?
How rude. That means my breath weapon is ready.
That does mean your breath weapon is ready. There you go. You're on 36 and you're good to go.
All your wages are back.
That's right. Here we go. So as Nitro, you are poking the bear, so to speak. Yetnet awakes with a start, all this sort of stuff. As you wake up and you see Nitro looking down at you, you also notice that you have this arm that is wrapped across your neck like this, and you roll over to look, and there's a gentleman there whose eyes sort of flutter open. What?
Oh.
Yetnet, you had a bit of a fun night, eh?
It looks like you did too, mister.
Can you remember me? My name's Frederick,
No.
or is it? I can't remember. It might actually be John. I'm not sure. The same drunken guy that you met outside of the Sleeping Giant tap house at the far end of town has managed to make his way in and have a bit of fun having free drinks and all the rest of it. What would you like to do now that you're awake?
Sorry?
This is what happens when you party too hard.
That's it.
Nitro, what would you like to do?
Pester the barkeeper for a breakfast meal, and then see what Yetnet's up to, and hopefully encourage her to get moving, as we have a dwarf friend who needs to get up and going.
Well, as you would have been drawn downstairs in the morning by the smell of breakfast, rashers of bacon, things frying, eggs, all that sort of stuff, hot continental breakfast. Toblerone himself is running around tending to the customers and things, and he has obviously indicated that someone maybe has had a bit of a night. He seems a bit not put out because you've saved them from the Cragmores, but he seems a little bit concerned, and he sort of doesn't want to engage heavily in conversation with you, and he might be a bit upset with Yetnet for potentially damaging some property in a party the night before.
Understandable.
Yes, but he does obviously indicate, by all means, and he's effectively comped your breakfast as well. You will not have to pay for your meal for this morning.
Because I paid $20 last night.
Well, because he's looking after you, because you've saved the town from the Cragmore goblins and the threat of that menace.
Yeah.
So you sit down to have a bit of a feed, and you obviously feel better now that you've got something in your stomach. Sildar has joined you, along with Gundren, who is now looking a little bit in better spirits, both physically and mentally.
Spider.
The giant wolf spider is outside.
How rude.
Yes. So now that you are fully rested, where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Where's Gundren?
Gundren is with you and Sildar, so you're all sitting down at the breakfast table. Gundren is having quite the feed to get his strength back, obviously.
Understood.
But you're all sitting around the table effectively at this point.
So Gundren and Sildar, where do we have to go to get to this cave or this mine entrance?
Sildar sort of hesitates to respond, and he then turns to Gundren. Gundren swallows the mouthful of pork or whatever it is that he's been chewing on in the morning. My friends, the map will show the way. The map to Wave Echo Cave is here, and he slaps a map down on the bench top. and you can see it points to a place that is in the Sword Mountains, which is to the southeast of Phandelver, and there's a large outcropping that he's got circled in some sort of red ink, and there's a little cross marking that with an arrow and a hand-drawn scroll in common that reads Wave Echo Cave. It's only a short trek, but I must warn you, we must be quite prepared and ready to go. Who knows what we'll find? We've only excavated the first part of the mine.
True enough. Well, we need to go to a store and find some healing potions, don't we?
You want some healing potions? Yeah? All right. Yetnet is going to go off and take care of some other business. Go. So while you're doing that, she's going to give you full control to go and take care of buying some potions of healing and that sort of stuff. So in terms of where to resupply, Sildar considers your options. My friends, you may very well want to try Barthen's Provisions or the Lion Shield Cluster as well. There's a few other places around town, but none would be able to supply and stock such items if that is what you're after. Those two are probably the most important establishments in town.
All right, let's try Barthen's first. I remember that one's one of the biggest stores that are around. So
it's only a short walk, so you finish your meals, you nod to Toblin. Toblin nods, but he's not smiling as you make your way out, and you head out along the main street of Phandelver north to Barthen's Provisions. There is a stable at the front that is stocked with livestock, horses, things you can hire, that sort of stuff if you're looking for horse and cart. The wagon of supplies that Yetnet first delivered is still stocked. It's been emptied, but the wagon is there. And there is also lots of people coming and going of this next morning. It seems like it's a hive of activity coming from Barthen's. You can see a sign at the front, Providor, Essentials, all that sort of stuff. The door's open, seems welcoming if you want to head in.
Yeah, I'll make my way in.
You walk in and you can see a couple of clerks to the side bustling around. Some of them, they're not really looking after customers. They seem to be discussing the goings-on between one of the men and a female member of the village. You overhear a conversation about, what was she like? What did you get up to last night? Things that you probably really shouldn't be overhearing. But there's a taller, lean beanpole of a man, balding, looking reasonably late middle-aged, but still quite able-bodied, behind the counter, and he's looking through an accounting book with a ledger. He looks up at you. Oh, hello there, my friends. Can I help you with anything today?
Yes, need to do some stocking up on some items if we can, please.
Of course. You're in the market for anything in particular? Oh, I've got ahead of myself. Excuse me. My name is Elmar Barthen, and this is my establishment. What was it you said you were after?
Well, Mr. Barthen, I'm interested in some health potions. If you've got any flasks of oil or something like that, maybe that would be handy.
Flasks of oil, yeah, okay. And he sort of looks down an inventory list he's got in front of him, and he says, "Flasks of oil. How many would you be wanting?"
Oh, depending on the cost, maybe 2 or 3.
2 or 3, right? Okay, let me have a look. We've also got the potions of healing. You said they're quite rare around these,
Absolutely.
Now, let's see. What have we got here? The oil, I do have... Where are we? They're about a silver each, and the potions are 50 gold pieces, I'm afraid, and I've only got 3.
That's okay. I would definitely like to take 1 potion of healing myself. I'm pretty sure this one will want some as well.
Do you want a potion of healing as well?
Yes.
All right, will that be 50 gold pieces?
Actually, can I have 2?
2?
Yeah.
Well, that's up to you. It's your coin. That's all I can say.
What's it?
And the oil?
It's 3 flasks of oil, if I can, please.
Of course, no problems at all. So the total then between you is 150 gold and 3 silver pieces.
For both of us?
Yes, I'll hand over 50 gold and
the 3 silver from you, sir. Yeah,
exactly.
And then
3 silver. Sorry, 3 silver.
15 plus 15.
No, you will pay 100 gold pieces for the potions of healing. Did you want them both or just the one?
Both.
Both. All right, there it is. And he reaches in, hands the potions of healing out, and I will hand it virtually through the screen there to you, sir. Here you go.
Okay, so
All right.
I am going to pay in 100 electrum pieces.
Yes.
2 silver pieces. So a lot of my lower coin is being removed right now.
Yeah, sure. That's it. You're chipping up, as they say in that other game that we play from time to time.
Correct.
All right. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
I'm not sure. Nitro, do you have anything else you need to get from this gentleman?
What?
Maybe a harness or a leash for your spider if you've got it?
You've got a what?
A giant wolf spider. I don't think she would take it though.
A giant wolf spider?
Yeah.
What, as a pet?
It's
Yeah.
a companion. Don't ask. I've
Which
given up asking.
he tried to kill.
Hey,
and you
came
can
out
see
of
there's
nowhere. It was scary.
a confusion.
Yeah.
Elmer's face just looks at complete confusion, and the 2 gentlemen that are stocking the shelves actually turn and start eavesdropping on your conversation out of pure concern and fear, and also a little bit of interest as well. Elmer says, if you're looking for a way to secure a rider too, said Spider. Crystal. Oh, it's got a name. How quaint. So you can actually purchase a saddle if you want to for your mount. I don't quite know if it will fit, being that it's designed for a horse as opposed to a spider. But
Okay, let me ask if she wants a saddle. Do you want a saddle? If you give her a saddle, she'll bite your head off.
we'll be giving her a saddle. It's simple as that. We'll cross that off the list. Any other adventuring gear? Any other rope or other bits and pieces, accessories you might need?
Well, I'll take about, let me say, 2 rope or 1 rope. I don't mind.
2 rope, but that'll be for the 2 lengths of rope.
Wait, actually, 1 rope for me, 1 rope for Nitro, please.
You're going to buy one for him? Of course, there's 2 silver pieces, please. All right, and you can add an rope into your inventory, Nitro, as well.
So rope.
You have them already?
Right. And do you happen to have any decent daggers and a belt holster for them?
Oh, I'm not so proficient with the weapons department, I'm afraid. You might want to try the Lion Shield cluster. They've got shields and other weapons, bits and pieces.
Lion Shield
there. It's in the southern part of town. If you head out onto the road, follow the road straight south, you can't miss it. It's a big building, the giant blue shield with a lion in the middle.
Absolutely.
If there's nothing else, then, gentlemen, I do have some work to get back to. It's still early in the day, so. All right, best of luck. Good luck. Stay safe, and hopefully see you back in one piece, eh? And be careful with that spider, right? She's a bit,
If you talk her about any customers, I'll punch you.
Right. Well, I'll keep that to myself then. I've been taught my lesson. Fantastic. Good day. See you later. He sort of backs away and gets busy back in the ledger, marking off inventory and things as you make your way outside. Are you heading straight down to Lion Shield Cluster, or are you going to stop anywhere else on your way?
Meh, we'll just go there.
I'd like to head down there quickly and see if I can get a couple of daggers, so I've got some backup weapons.
Yeah, sure. So you make your way through.
Let's see if I can get a new javelin, because my javelin's got blood on it.
You want another javelin?
Yeah,
you could have cleaned
it.
it.
It's not 2-handed fighting, so.
You can make your way down to, it's a short walk, down to the Lion Shield. It's a reasonably large building. It seems to be a warehouse of sorts. The actual shield that Elmar described is not actually on a sign. It's plastered on the side of the building. It's a big round blue circle with a lion's head emblazoned on it. Weapons are just the beginning. It has painted on the side. And as you make your way into the building, there is a tall, slender female elf behind the counter. She looks up. She come in, nice, pleasant smile. Doesn't seem to be overly exuberant like most of the other folk in this frontier town village are. Hello. Is there anything I can help you with today?
Yes.
He can talk.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking for a couple of daggers and a nice holster that they can go into as well on my belt.
Oh, of course. All right. Well, daggers. I have a few of those here. How many would you be after?
2. maybe a third I can sneak away somewhere?
Well, I've got a holster here that will accommodate 2 daggers. If you wanted to have a third, you would have to have another means of securing it to your person.
Okay.
But I have here a set of 2 daggers and the harness that effectively runs 4 gold pieces.
4 gold. That done. Sold.
Fantastic. She hands it over, reaches under, pulls out this little, and you can see there's the 2 daggers that are almost fine, brand new, sparkling, shiny, and there's this leather strap that is designed to obviously go around your hip like a bandolier of sorts. You can grab them and pull them out. Roll perception for me, Nitro.
Sure.
Oh.
That would be a total of 22 with a natural 20.
Oh, boom. Okay.
20.
So looking at the leather, you can see that it is very well made. It's a nice quality leather, but there is enough length if you wanted to. You could effectively make your own third component to actually pop a dagger on this bandolier.
Ooh, slime.
Potentially as many as 4 if you really stretched out the materials and had enough materials to lengthen and stretch out this these bandolier pockets, I guess.
Okay, so I'll get a third dagger then.
A third? Yes, of course, no problems at all. That's another 2 gold, please.
Absolutely. We'll make that from silver pieces.
Yep, sure. And you, milady, are you looking for anything at all in particular?
I might just get. Do you have any can I get a dagger? And then one more question: do you have any weapons for giant wolf spiders and such?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you have weapons for giant wolf spiders?
Not for killing them, but that they can actually use. Let's be very specific about that.
I'm glad you clarified. It's still a bizarre question in any case.
Absolutely.
Well, I will say a giant wolf spider is quite honestly already well equipped enough to deal damage on its own. I don't think it needs any other weapons.
I'll ask if she wants one. Do you want a weapon? Okay, she does. She wants a dagger.
Right, well, I have those. You just see me sell these, gentlemen. They're 2 gold pieces each. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I just want a pouch for my giant wolf spider, please, if you have any pouches.
A pouch, somewhere to store bits and pieces, like a pack, somewhere to store all your bits and pieces.
Yes.
All right. Well, for how big is your giant wolf spider?
Giant.
Let me see the stick.
I see what you did there. It's very clever.
About the stick.
Is it here? Is it outside?
No, it's right there.
No, it would be outside.
Okay,
It'd be outside.
Inside. The fact that the rest of the town just seems to think, oh yeah, giant wolf spider, that's fine, no problems. Hasn't even
It might be
paid any whatsoever. Yes, they're probably giving it stuff.
2 gold pieces.
2 gold pieces for Dag, yes. So Helene, this elf, makes her way out into the wolf spider. She sort of starts clucking her tongue a little bit. My, what have we here, my fine beastie? We could always do some fit for you and mount a couple of saddlebags either side with a nice strong bit of leather, if that would suit.
We tried that at a different shop and she did not like it.
A different shop? That's because you haven't come to mine. We make things custom all the time. It's a simple matter of making sure the leather is strong enough to accommodate the girth of the abdomen of this particular creature. I tell you what, if you're looking to do something like this with the saddlebags, it's about 8 gold pieces, but you'd be able to put in quite a lot in those bags.
Alright, fine.
I take it that's a deal?
Yes, but if my giant wolf spider does not put me on and kill me, Nitro's going
Oh no, it's a saddle. You can't ride him. It's a storage unit either side of for you to put all your belongings and adventuring, your loot, if you will, depending on the loot that you pick up on your journey. It's just a nice way of storage. Extra packs, if that's inventory space.
Okay, here's the 8 gold.
Right, thank you very much.
Oh, and the 2 gold that I did.
And for the daggers as well, thank you. And she turns and calls out the back. We've got a special order. Can you make some saddlebags connected by large bits of leather for a giant wolf spider? Yes, I said a giant wolf spider. Don't question. Just do what I ask. You work for me. Don't. I'll have you. Sorry about that.
Can I make a
Excuse
request
me.
for the main strap that goes across the back of the spider? Can there be some form of little gripping points where my little
Yeah, 'cause we have
dragon
guy
here
that's
can
gonna run
grip
on it.
on?
Oh, for you, Drake?
For my little dragon, yes.
Yeah.
Gripping points. You mean like a place for it to hold on?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, all right. Derek, can you make little grippy handles for a small wee lizard creature to hang on the back of the spider? Yes, I'm serious.
No, you're not.
I don't need any help from you, thank you. Yes, I love you too. Thanks, honey. Sorry, yes. But yes, that's not a problem. Be able to make that manufacture, not a problem. Can you give us about an hour to put it together?
We'll be gone in an hour.
You'll be gone.
Yeah.
Can you make it like a rush order and get this done, let's say, in half an hour? Could that work?
We can.
I'm
we
happy
can
to double the
try.
gold. That's not an issue.
All right, we'll have yourselves a deal. Derek, get the lead out. Make it happen, please. This is a special order. Yes, they need it now. Just don't. That's it. You're going the right way for a smack bottom. Yes, I know. Yes, you're the most amazing person in the world. Please do what I am. Yes, thank you. I'll make it up to you later. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that.
I'll hand across
So
the
temperamental.
extra 8 gold.
That's it. And she pockets the coin. I better keep 1 or 2 pieces aside for Derek because he'll share, maybe a little bit of a wee bonus. So bring him back in line. Yes, so that'll be done for you. Derek will bring that out for you very shortly. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Do you know anything about dragons and such?
Dragons? I can't say I know much about dragons. I know I don't ever want to meet one. Present company accepted, of course.
Thanks. Cause when we were riding back to Phandelver, we heard this squeal of a dragon.
Squeal of a dragon? Did you see the dragon?
Not on the way back, we didn't.
No.
On the way back, you didn't. You've seen one before. It's just the same
I've seen
dragon.
plenty of dragons before.
We don't know, but we met a dragon called Venom.
Venomfang. Right. Well, I'll be sure to keep an eye out.
It's big, it's green, and it nearly eated us.
Well, I suppose that's what dragons do, don't they? Well, I'll make sure that I keep an eye out, and I'll go speak to the town master and warn him of the potential threat.
We'll do it.
You'll do that. All right, well, there you go. Here comes Derek. You take it outside, and you can then fit it to the beast.
I know.
Yes, you can do it. You can. You can. I believe in you, Derek. And then you see this humble
Just
little
approach
gnome
from the
guy.
sides, Derek. Don't approach it front on.
Yeah, don't.
The little gnome guy who comes out with his little word, nods and things, and sort of grumbles a bit. And he makes his way around. He stares up at this giant wolf spider. Crystal, I'm assuming you're instructing Crystal to behave?
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
Please do so.
I'm doing nothing.
So the gnome hesitantly approaches from the side, and without any instruction from Yetnet, he actually leaps up and tries to clamber up one of the legs. Crystal then starts to get a bit restless and flicks her body. The gnome is holding on for dear life, and you just see it's quite comical as it is deadly. This little gnome holding on for dear life, one of his little legs that's flapping around, this bits of leather hanging off of him. It looks very, very odd indeed.
Crystal, stop moving.
Okay, Crystal comes to not a complete halt, but she does settle. The gnome makes his way up on top and ties the saddlebags in place along with the strap for the Drake. So Drake.
Oh, yeah.
So Derek hops off, scurries back inside, wipes his brow, goes over to a little bench where there's a little water pouch, and it literally drains the whole thing, sweats himself again, runs back behind the counter, grumbling and out the back, and you can hear Helene, thank you, darling, thank you very much, I appreciate that, I'll make it up to you later. And you just hear this grumble from out the back, and she turns back over to look out into the back of the house and says, don't you use that finger with me, young man. Sorry about that again. I'm so sorry. He's quite volatile when he doesn't get his way. May I ask, you've been obviously talking about all these adventures and other bits and pieces. You seem to be up to something quite important.
We're heading to Waybaker Cave.
Well,
You
that's
heading
an
to what?
idea.
The
I
way
mean,
I could trade.
we're kind of traders in a lot of regard, or adventurers, so we come across items all the time. If we found armaments, would you be willing to purchase them from us at a decent price?
Oh, well, potentially. It's part of my trade. I'm always looking to see if I can procure something that's a bit more value than the average dagger. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you come across anything like that at the moment?
Not just yet, but we are heading on another adventure out near the coast to try and get some more good armaments and so on. Hopefully there's a bit of loot out there. It'd be nice.
That must be nice, going on other things instead of being stuck in here with a shifty little gnome for a... Anyway, sorry, I digress. That's only my own way of thinking. Well, look, if that's all there is to it, I do have some other orders and things that I know have been pushed back a wee bit, so we'll get back on top of those. If you do need anything else, or you do find some of those artifacts and weapons, by all means, come back and see me. We can definitely work out trade and talk some business. That'll be my pleasure.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, can you give me 2 minutes?
Yes, of course, go for it. Right. Yetnet, you are here. You are with your friend
That's
Sildar,
just wandered off somewhere.
and then you've got Crystal seems a little bit restless with her new leathers. So is there anything you want to say to her to try and calm her? She seems to be trying to reach and pick at the leathers, trying to scratch them off, get at the saddlebags and things like that.
Crystal, it's okay. I bought you those. And then Crystal just goes like...
Crystal doesn't... You can hear from the mandibles and the maw clicking away. She's trying to obviously communicate something to you, but...
I don't speak...
You don't speak spider. You can see her with one of her legs trying to get her legs up. They don't really sort of bend that way. She's trying to get at the strap that's over the back, just above where her head is, the neck of it there. And she's just trying to scratch away at it, trying to get into it. What do you think?
I wish I had a talking spell so that I could talk to.
You want to try and talk to Crystal? Yeah. Well, she's trying to claw at the back of this leather strap, and obviously she can't sort of get at whatever she needs to, and she seems a bit uncomfortable.
I know I've got the holder crystal already, but can I try? I know I haven't tried this yet. Can I try to use my animal handling skills to try to calm her by patting her?
Yes, you certainly can. Roll animal
And
handling.
then while I'm patting her...
You don't need to roll for this one because you've already made her your companion. So you can just go and reassure her and pat her. That's not a
So
problem.
I'm going to pat her, and then while I'm patting her, I'm going to say, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay, so you try and calm Crystal down. You are patting her down, all the rest of it. And as you pat her, your hand brushes over the leather strap, and you can see her visibly relax. It's a little bit odd, but it seems that the leather strap might be making her a little bit uncomfortable.
I have an idea why Crystal might be uncomfortable. So, you said while the guy was putting the satchel on, you said he was tying it, right?
Correct, yep.
The tying might be too tight.
Make an investigation roll for me, please. That's a +2.
Court.
5. 5, okay. So you have a look and you can't see, it doesn't look too tight. It just looks uncomfortable for some reason, but you have calmed her a little bit, so she'd be willing to let you take her wherever you needed to go.
Where's the dwarf we rescued, was he?
Gundren is with you. You've got Sildar there. Gundren doesn't need to be carried anymore, so he's walking on his own 2 feet.
Yep.
Sildar is walking alongside. Nitro obviously is there with the Drake and Crystal. So you're all together.
Wait, did I return the wagon that me and Sildar rode in, or is that still...
Yes, you did that already. That was a while ago now.
Okay, if we're going to get to Wavocade in the Soul Coast, we need that wagon.
I don't know if you do. I mean, you still had access to horses and things you would have had left over at Cranmore.
But they don't...
You can take the wagon if you want to. You just have to head back to Barthens and hire it again.
Yeah.
I don't think we need the wagon per se. I think the horses should be fine, shouldn't they?
Okay, but we need more horses though.
At this point, Gundren is appearing to get a little bit agitated. Sildar, my friends, I don't want to. I feel I need to make sense of the urgency of this particular moment. Our friend here, Gundren, does wish to find out the situation with his brothers, make sure they are safe and sound. He left them at the cave mouth, and should other dark forces be at play, as we know they are, we want to make sure that his brothers are safe and sound. So it is of the utmost importance we get to Wave Echo Cave as soon as we possibly can. Is there anything else you need to do in town urgently to refresh yourselves before we move on?
Well, I know we need to get there urgently, but it's just Chris doesn't want anyone on her back anymore. She just needs space. Yeah.
At this, Gundren drops his head, and you just see him start to head off. And he gets probably 30 feet from you, and he turns back. I'm going. I need to make sure my brothers are safe. If you come with me, then you come with me. But if you're not, you're not. To just let me know what you're doing and catch up if you can. And he starts storming off towards the edge
jump
of
on
town.
horses. Let's go. He's just gonna run.
Saddling up.
He's very concerned about his
Okay.
brothers. So
I'm the second one in line.
You're second. Who's leading? Or Gundren is obviously leading the way.
So I'm leading the pack, and then giant little spiders riding beside my horse. Okay.
Okay, so you're making your way forward. Gundren is ahead of you. As Sildar rides by, he actually catches up and gets ahead of you, goes up to Gundren, gives him a hand, lifts the dwarf onto the back of his mount, and all of you are now riding off towards Wave Echo Cave. Sildar doesn't lead with Gundren because they're the ones who know where they've got to go.
No, only Gundren knows.
Gundren knows. Well, that's why he's picked up Gundren on horseback, so he can find his way to the map. You are led on a merry dance and a merry adventure throughout the outlying lands of Phandelver. You make your way southeast into the beginnings of these mountains, and you can see the rocks become a lot more jagged, a lot more angular, a lot more treacherous. The terrain is quite rough as you make your way further and further into the mountains. And you find yourselves face to face shortly with the large opening maw of a cave system. You can see at first glance as you make your way through the sort of stalagmites and other bits and pieces and rock formations inside. There's an entrance tunnel that seems to lead to a larger cavern inside, but it's here that you actually make your way into Wave Echo Cave, and Gundren stops, dismounts, and calls you all forward to show you what he knows of the map of Wave Echo Cave. It is huge. It is a huge expanse. You are starting on the bottom southwest corner, that little entrance into that cavern system there. Gundren shows you the map, indicates a landing point. Here, that's where I left my brothers, and turns on his heel and heads straight into the mine. He doesn't wait for you. He just charges in ahead. You following along?
Yes.
Yep.
We are definitely not running.
I want to try and catch up to Gundren and slow him down for a second and say, look, I know your brothers are in here. We're going to find them, but let's do this smartly so we can all get out of here alive, all right?
Gundren sort of doesn't respond with words. He just grunts. You just hear and he does slow his step and leads you into this entryway. You can see there's a natural pillar of rock that's supporting the ceiling, 3 stalagmites. In the western part of this area, behind a column of rock, you can see 3 bedrolls, a heap of basic supplies, sacks of flour, salt bags, some salted meat casks, lanterns, lamp oil, pickaxes, shovels, and other gear. As you are looking through the supplies and taking in your bearings of this cave, you hear Gundren let out a shriek, and you hear him almost collapse to his knees.
I go to him, see what's going on.
We both do.
Yeah, so you hear him break down. He is almost inconsolable and lost for words as he stares at this strewn about collection of objects. And when you follow his gaze, you can see amidst the supplies the body of a dwarf miner who appears to have been dead for some time. The northeastern part of this place is collapsed. There's a sunken pit that is to the northeast here, but at the most prevalent, there is this body, and Gundren is just beside himself with grief stricken at the sign of this dwarf corpse.
Nitro asks, blah.
Ask Gundren.
Ask Gundren why he's doing that.
Well, you can ask him. You're there too.
Oh yeah, Gundren, is that one of your brothers? What?
Gundren stops his sobbing for a moment, his wailing, his grief. Aye, that be Thordren, my brother. He was meant to be here, and there's no sign of Nundro either. I can only fear the worst has befallen him. He's been here alone, guarding the entrance to the cave, and I took so long to get back, and there was that trouble with the Cragmores, and now he's gone forever. And he just breaks down into an absolute mess once again.
Gundren, you said you have another brother?
Aye.
Okay, so I'm sorry to be the harsh one here. You need to pull yourself together. We need to find your other brother. There's no body here, so he's here somewhere. We need to find him.
And you see Gundren almost doesn't steal his resolve, but he grabs a sleeve and he wipes his face, and he does stand, and he blinks his eyes, looks up at you, and he says, "You're right. Nundro needs my help more than any point.
And when
Thank
we come
you
back,
much.
we'll give him a proper burial."
I appreciate that. Thank you. That's weird." And he looks over the corpse of Thad and his brother. He's still got his boots on. And he goes over and grabs the boots off of his dead brother's corpse.
Gundren, did your brother have any weapons on him or something? Because if he did, you could take them.
No, he only had pickaxes, but that's why I've grabbed these boots here. They're sort of won't necessarily fit yourself, but they might be suitable for you, my short friend. These are Tharden's boots of striding and springing. They might help you get around some of the crevasses and things contained here in the mine.
The magical boots?
Aye, magical property boots. Great for miners. You see this crevasse over here, this sort of sunken part of the chamber. If you're wearing the boots, you don't have to worry about climbing down. You just jump down. And the boots will absorb the weight of the fall or help you jump a wee bit farther as well. Okay. Very handy in getting out of tight spaces.
I'm just thinking, if they're magical, don't they normally adjust to whoever the wearer is?
Well, I must say, I've never really had anyone else try them. We've always just shared them around ourselves. We've never had anyone who's not a dwarf try them on.
True. Yetnet, would you like to try them on? I think you might benefit.
We'll try, but if my claws break, then that's the end.
Well, we'll see what happens. If you're not going to get them in too far, then we'll take them off before you do any damage. All right?
Okay.
All right, try them on. So as you slip your claw-like foot inside the neckline of the boot, the trunk of the boot, you feel it almost expand and mold perfectly to your flesh. The boot expands and covers your toes to perfection. It is the most comfortable shoe you have ever worn in your entire dragonborn life.
Because I live out in the bush.
Well, it's probably one of the first shoes you've ever worn in your dragon.
One of the first ones.
But at the same time, it's very comfortable, and for whatever reason, who knows, magic is a weird, fickle thing. It looks very, very stylish as well. There's even a little bit of a heel on it as well to give you a little bit extra height that you don't really need. But it's very, very fashionable, very stylish, and you pop the other one on as well, and you feel lighter. And you feel a little bit faster as well. So from now on, instead of being able to move 30 feet, you can move up to 40 feet in combat. And you can also jump a little bit further as well. Any difficult terrain you come across, you won't have to worry about making athletics checks and things to get up and down them because of these wonderful little boots that you now have on.
I have +2. I have +4 to athletics.
Well, it doesn't matter because you've got all the extra bonuses now, so that's even
If
better.
I get in combat and then they break me.
You have an option here, folks. You can either head to the north or you can head to the east through this little sunken part of the cavern system. You would have to, Nitro, you would have to climb down and then up again the other side of the collapsed part of the cavern. Yet Net, you'll be able to jump down and do your thing now that you've got these magical boots on. Would you like to go north or to the east?
Wait, Gundren, did your brothers and you travel around it, or was it just one spot?
We opened the mine with the excavation and left all our gear here. We'd only explored a few passages beyond this point.
Now, what passages did you explore?
Well, and he produces the map once again, and he indicates to you, we've gone north through all the dwarven excavations. You can see there's all sorts of shafts and things that are half excavated. We didn't get any much farther than that, but then on the western side, we actually managed to tunnel our way through and find the old original entrance to the mine, which has long since collapsed. And then there was we kept pushing further east, and we came across a strange smell. We started to smell, and we thought, no, we don't want to go that way. So we came back. That's about as far as we got before I went back to Neverwinter for supplies.
Okay.
How about we'll go north?
Go north?
The way the smell you got.
The way I smelled was east.
East.
So we go east. You want to head towards the smell?
Yeah, but we're moving stealthily though.
Always with stealth. Always with stealth.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so as you make your way east, Yetnet just tries on the boots for size, and it's almost like she's, floating low gravity, just bounds down into this space, and in one fell swoop, literally burn, and she's over the other side. Nitro is a bit more of a struggle. However, you were clever enough to pick up a certain item that will definitely help you here, if you would like to use it. You did purchase some rope, did you not?
I did.
Yeah,
So you can tie that off. Oh, Yetnet purchased it.
I would like to turn around to Crystal and say, Crystal, would you mind carrying me down because you're good at climbing?
So the mandibles, she ascends,
Yes.
and you're able to she lowers herself down. You can climb on, and she climbs down and climbs over the escarpment for you, taking you along for the ride. Sildar, you make your way to turn back. Sildar still standing at the clearing. My friends, if it's not too much trouble, I will keep watch and stand vigilant here in case trouble enters from behind us while we escape. Is that suitable for you both?
Yes. Oh, Dad, is Gundren coming with us, or is
Gundren is with you.
Okay, good.
Yep, he's looking for his brother, so that's fine.
So, Dad, if anything happens, come find us.
I
We'll
shall.
be dead, or we'll be traveling on.
Well, hopefully it's not the former, but the latter, indeed. Good safe journey and safe adventuring. And you make your way through into this next part, into the old original entrance for the mine. There's a few tunnels that cross-section with this one here. It's a 30-foot high cavern. It's a bit more grandiose than the rest. There are simple reliefs that have been carved into the caverns, showing dwarves and gnome miners hard at work. Below them, over the floor, there is nearly 24, as far as you can count, skeletons in rusted scraps of armor that are strewn about the floor. Some of these are dwarven skeletons. Some of them more still are orc skeletons and orc remains. There are about half a dozen brass lanterns in niches all around the floor, but none of them are lit, and it's a reasonably dark space.
I'd like to get one of the lanterns,
Mhm.
and if it's out of oil, I'll use some oil that I purchased, and I'd like to light one of them, so we have a light source here.
It is indeed out of oil, so you have to use some of your oil to pop it in the lantern there, and you can light it. Do you have a way to light it?
I have a tinderbox.
Yep, sure.
So yes, I'll use one of those. I'll delete that flask of oil. If I have a quick look around, can I see anything that's in good nick, as in potentially magical weapons?
Sorry, did you just light the lantern?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as you light the lantern and the light flares from the lantern, you hear a selection of screeches and skittering from in the chamber 30 feet above you. I need you to roll initiative, please.
Both of us?
Yes.
Okay, initiative.
Total of 15 for myself.
15?
13.
13. Can you roll for Crystal, please?
Crystal. What's her
Just roll straight initiative.
18?
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's because of my excellent dice rolling.
It's because of your excellent dice rolling, is it?
So what happened to your roll then?
Yeah, that's it. My roll was rubbish.
Ha!
Okay.
Nat 1,
So-
I'm guessing.
No, it was an 8. That's right.
Oh.
So as you light the lantern, you hear this screech, it's this sort of a skittering noise. You look up and you see a collection of 4 sturges that are hanging up there above you. And as soon as they see the light source, they awake, they get disturbed, and they swoop down to try and get some
Wait, are
flesh.
these the winged guys that I've seen
Winged,
before?
vulture-looking critters that are looking to
remember.
bite you and suck your blood and all sorts of other nasty business.
They're like vampires, right?
Vampire bat meets
Vampire bats.
mosquito.
Absolutely.
I've seen them in a different campaign.
Now, before anything else happens, though, as they drop from the ceiling and try to attack, Crystal is able to try and swing an attack at one of them as they come past. So roll a d20 for me, please.
To make sure it hits.
Yeah, roll a d20 because Crystal's going to try and take one out.
17?
17 most definitely hits.
Okay, so Crystal's, for the first time, is going to use her dagger.
No, she's not proficient with weaponry, but she does have mandibles and crazy arms that she can swing around, that she can pierce things with.
Are they on the roof or are they standing in front of us?
They're in flight. So she's rolled to hit, that's fine. So you need to roll 1d6 and add 2 to the roll. 3 damage. She swings almost blindly as these things all drop from the ceiling, but because they're in a big group and she swings, she actually pierces one straight through, and this sturge flies against the wall and just explodes into a little splotch of blood, which brings us to Nitro. You're up.
Me. Well, I'm going to get my dragon to jump forward a little bit and be ready for something to come within range of him so he can attack it, and I'm going to shoot one of them.
Yeah, sure.
So that's a natural 1. I'm going to re-roll it because I can do that.
Lucky.
Dirty 20 to hit. Which is
Yeah, definitely hits, yeah.
That's a 1d8, isn't it? Where is it? D8. Well, minimum damage. That's 4 in total.
Yeah, that's enough. So the arrow pierces through and literally cuts this thing in half, shoots through, and it separates into 2 and lands as it coming to attack you. One half lands this side, the other half lands this side. It is cease to be. Yetnet, you are up. You're up. What do you want to do, Yetnet?
Well, first I...
So I'm trying to grab one out of the air with your bare hands.
You mean my arm down strike, you mean?
Yes, I do.
Well, all of my hit things have +6. How did that even happen?
Well, it depends on the different weapons. You're a barbarian. You're quite strong.
I don't think I've tried this before. Can I try and throw my Morning Star?
You probably need to throw it. They're coming at you. So they've dropped from a 30-foot ceiling and they've probably moved forward. They're probably going to be quite close.
Okay. How long are they? Like, are they 5 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet?
No, actually, yeah. Not within range of melee range at this point. You could throw a hand axe at them if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just make sure you pick it up again after combat.
No, wait, don't I have one?
You've only got one left, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, damn, I should
You've
have.
got a dagger.
Okay, after...
She did buy a dagger, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not currently equipped.
True.
An 8 plus 6.
No.
8 plus 6 is
14.
14 hits. Roll for damage.
1.
1d8.
1d8.
Sorry, 1d6 plus 4. My apologies.
6.
Oh, wow. 10
7,
damage.
8, 9, 10.
Oh. So as this thing is descending from the ceiling, you hurl the axe. And it smashes and actually embeds inside a little bit of damp clay, I guess, and this sturge is literally pinned to the rock. And it just sort of stops and drops dead. It is well and truly defeated.
Okay, and then I walk over there, grab my axe, and go.
Well, no, the axe is in the ceiling. You're going to have to get it back later.
Oh, Crystal.
Gundren is going to try and take out this last fella that's here. He doesn't have any projectile weapons. He does carry a pickaxe. So I guess he can throw the pickaxe, yeah. He throws the pickaxe. It does hit. He's going to roll for damage. And just because it's all fair if you share the love around, he actually manages to swing the pickaxe true. It doesn't lodge in, it actually hits on the flat, squashes this guy, this final sturge, and there's gouts of little blood patches now anointing this space in all their stunning glory.
Okay, so we're out of combat?
You are now out of combat, yes.
Crystal, get my hand axe.
Crystal comes up into the wall, dislodges the hand axe and brings it back to you, hands it over to you, and she goes and sort of wiggles at you a little bit with glee that she's done something good for a change, which is fantastic.
She's doing a little dance.
Doing a little dance.
Hey, Gundren, that was a good shot. Does that mean you picked the right weapon?
What?
I see what you did there, and I don't like it. That's not very punny.
Punny. See what you did there, buddy.
All right. So you are still now in this old entrance of this place. You can either make your way in the entrance. Is a pathway that leads north. There is the road that leads south to the main entrance itself, which is caved in. There are doors that lead to the left and right on that southern passage. They are both closed.
Oh, okay. We'll just keep heading in the forward direction, in the south direction.
South or north?
Which is
We were heading in the easterly direction, weren't we?
Yeah, did you want to keep going east or did you want to go further north?
Keep going east.
Heading east. Okay,
Does the smell continue in that direction?
Yes, it does. Additionally, you hear in the distance, it's quite faint, but you hear a crash, a boom. And then there's sort of a flow away, and then you hear boom again. Boom.
Can I tell what direction it's coming from?
As far as you can tell, it's coming from the north.
Okay.
I'd probably say we go that way to see what's coming.
Yeah, it's probably bombs.
Probably bombs. It sounds like a crash of some sort, not so much a bomb boom, but it's a booming
People throwing
sound.
glass or something?
Who knows? But it's a noise that's repeated every couple of minutes. You just hear that boom, boom.
We need to go check that out. I'd say that someone's doing something they shouldn't be in here.
All right, let's go.
Head north instead?
Yep.
All right.
Gundren, are you okay with that?
I am fine with whatever. This is all new to me. So as you make your way forward, you can see there is a doorway. There's a passageway that leads back to the west. So as you've made your way north, there's a passageway that leads west, a passageway that leads east, and there's a doorway sealed right in front of you as well.
Sealed?
It's closed.
Oh, okay. Gundren, you used to live in this place. You knock on the door.
I didn't used to live in this place. We excavated it and rediscovered them. I don't know what's behind that door.
Why are we knocking?
One of your...
Why are we knocking? That was her idea.
What if it's the... Oh, okay, bad idea.
What if it's a big bad and we want to get a jump on him? Like,
what if it's a mother of a giant wolf spider?
I mean, it
Okay,
could
that
be,
one
but
too.
again, she'll probably attack us. So why don't we get the jump on whatever's coming out of that doorway?
Alright, Gundren. Actually, Nitro and Gundren, you go on each one on the side of the door, and I'll be bait, so I'll knock on the door. And Chris
Can we
is
just open the door?
behind me just in case.
Oh, can we check the door for traps before I step
Okay,
back?
I'll do it. And
Yeah, can you both roll investigation, please?
+2. 22, booyah!
That is a natural 20 from Yetnet.
Yeah, but I got a 17, but I'll let her take that one.
That's a
Ow.
Okay, so you inspect the door. It just looks like a standard door. You can't see any locks or devices or any sort of mechanisms on it in any way, shape, or form. But Yetnet, you can sort of hear what sounds like splintering and some crunching and some squelching noises coming from behind the door.
Something's eating.
is it something like big or something?
You can't tell from the noise about it.
Or can I like peek under the door?
You can't see the doors inside here are very much stone slabs with bits of timbers around them. They've been engineered that way from Dwarven and Gnomish miners. So they go floor to ceiling and they are flush. You wouldn't be able to see or peek under the door at all.
Oh, okay. Crystal scratch at the door.
Okay, Crystal moves forward and literally on the door. Because you can hear this noise, the crunching and the squishing stops, but you do hear a shuffling start.
I'm
Okay.
standing 30 foot back from the door. Bow
Starts to
drawn,
get louder.
arrow knocked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, everyone. Hide behind like big rocks or something, and then we'll do a trick.
You look around and there is nowhere to hide. There is a passageway leading east around the side of this particular room, and there's one leading to the west, and there's back the way you came, but there is nothing to hide behind. It's a very narrow corridor, about 10 to 20 feet across.
Okay, we're just gonna Nitro, put your cloak on. I'll put mine on too. Gundren, do you have anything that you can put on or something?
Gundren is sort of listening to the exchange here, watching the giant spider scratch at the door. Can I just make a suggestion? You've got a dirty, great, big, giant wolf spider who's ready to scratch the door down and take out whatever's coming our way. I say we let it do that.
That's actually a good idea. Oh, and here, this is a present. My red cloak. There you go.
And Gundren has this cloak draped over him, and it's clearly too big. Where have you got this on?
Just in case it might be your brother.
Don't mind the bloodstains either.
It looks down. I haven't even noticed that. This is sanitary. This is a bit messy.
No, actually, I put that on there because it looks like a heart. I sculpted it into a heart, and I stamped it on there.
Right. Well, is she always like this? Right. Well, can you tell that thing of yours to just bash the door and see what's on the other side?
Crystal formation, bash the door.
Crystal, you can see her almost physically nod as she burrows herself down and then literally uses her forelegs to push the door open. As she does with such force, the door slab slides open, and as it does, it collects what looks to be some sort of shambling figure behind it. You can see the figure has blood dripping down its chin. It's got pale bluish hue of the skin. It's not wearing a lot of clothes and has dark piercing blue eyes. As this door slams shut, nearly collects it entirely. But there's two more of these that are standing there behind, shuffling forward. So while one is now sort of pinned behind the door, two more of these shambling figures start coming towards you. I need you to roll initiative, and I need you to see if you can take out these ghouls, please.
Are they like zombies or something?
They are not zombies, they are ghouls.
Very ghoulish thing to do.
Yes. Nitro.
Be a 21.
Nice. Yetnet.
18. Oh, Crystal.
Roll for Crystal as well, please.
Natural 20.
Nice. 20 for Crystal, and then... Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Nitro, you are going to be first to act. You can see three targets. The two free are shambling towards you. There is one that is pinned behind the door with its leg. It's immobile effectively, but if you get close enough, it will try and take your head off. What do you want to do?
So theoretically, I'm about 30 foot from the door.
You did take a step back, so you are probably 30 feet, yes, from the door.
I did too.
There is a giant spider in the way.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter hopefully will counteract the up to 3/4 cover.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to attempt to call my shots. I want to try and nail one of these suckers big time.
Yeah, go for it. Good luck.
So that is... Where is my 2 hit? Add 2 to that. That's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, thank God. Okay. So we got max damage. That's an 8. That's plus 3. That's, 11, 21 points of damage for the first shot.
Holy crap balls. So
And
your target, that was...
So 21 damage, but I'm going to get my dragon to now go semi-close to the door so that he's within range of those guys to assist where he can.
Yeah, sure. So the shot that you let out, was that the one that was pinned, or was that the one of the ones that's oncoming?
I would probably try and get the ones that are coming in because I know one's being handled already.
Yeah, sure. So your shot rings true and it collapses almost center mass for this ghoul. You see the arrow pierce through the skin right through the back, and you can sense, you can't physically see it, but you can just see literally the quill of the back of the feather of the arrow still protruding from this thing's chest. It's knocked for 6 and falls back on itself, knocks into the guy behind, the ghoul behind it. And while it does sort of stop and lie still for the briefest of moments, and you think, oh, I've done it, I've bested this beast. It does then start to move and sit back up and keeps coming for you. That brings us to our spider friend. What would you like her to do?
Well, she's literally standing on one side of the doorway, right?
Yep.
Okay. Crystal, I don't know if you can do this, but I want you to charge at the ghouls and then stand in the middle of them both. Well, I don't know if there's both, but in the middle, and if one's a step away, go like, and then.
She won't have the ability to attack both of them, just of her speed. She could attack one.
Okay,
But she could definitely get in between them all, but that would leave her open to opportunity attacks as well.
Oh, yeah. Go on the side of one and then go.
Okay, so she's going to make her way forward. She's going to make her way in to the left-hand side, the western side of these two ghouls, and she's going to take a shot at the one that's already been hit or the one that's still fresh.
The one that's still fresh.
All right, roll an attack. +3 to your roll.
11.
That is not enough. She managed to claw her way through and get into position, but as she goes to strike, the ghouls have moved around. The one that's still standing has turned its attention to the spider, and she goes to swing, but the ghoul is just a little bit too quick and manages to duck out of the way, which brings us to yourself. Yetnet, what would you like to do? What would you like to do?
So I will go up to where my giant spider is, try to jump over and put my dagger right in the head of this ghoul.
The one that's been hit, or the other one behind it that's attacking Crystal?
The one I said jump over Crystal and
Okay.
the one
So I need you to make an athletics check to make sure you can make the speed, but you get advantage because you've got your boots on.
As well.
Yes, you can.
I want to yell out, Yetnet, you're not a dragonborn, you're a lizard, you're a gecko. Get angry.
Excuse me, I am a dragonborn.
You are a dragonborn, but he's
I'm
trying
attempting
to
to taunt her into raging.
He's trying to get you angry. So you can go into rage mode. We've talked about this. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. So as a bonus action, before you do anything for 1 minute, you can go into rage, which will give you advantage on any strength checks. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah? Which includes athletics checks and everything else as well. All right? You can... it also gives you +2 melee damage with any strength attack as well. And it lasts for 10 rounds.
And I can do it 3 times.
So Nitro, you have a crack shot at Yetnet, and Yetnet listens to you and says, "What are you talking about? I'm a dragonborn. Don't make me angry!" and goes into a rage. Roll your athletics check with advantage to make sure you can make the distance. 17, roll again. Yeah, you've got it. Doesn't matter. The other one managed. So you managed to make your way through. You jump, and you just see this graceful Olympic-style jump as this dragonborn flies through the air. You land on the other side where Crystal and the school are. You can now make your attack, and you get advantage on the strength attack, and you get +2 melee damage for the attack as well if it hits. What are you using to attack? Your javelin. Go for it.
+6 to hit.
Yep, +6 to hit. So you roll your d20. 7 + 6
is 12.
No, it's actually 13. But 13 is actually not enough to... Oh, no, 13 does hit. 13 does hit. So you get a...
1d6
1d6 plus 4 plus 2. So 2 plus 4.
2, 3,
plus 2.
7, 8.
8 points of damage. So as you come through and do this
8 points
spectacular
of
jump,
piercing.
8 points of piercing, you slam the javelin into the ground, and that's what lifts you up through the air as you do this beautiful Olympiad style jump. And as you go to land, you manage to flip the javelin and bring it straight down, and you smash it into the thigh of this ghoul. And it doesn't make a noise, but you can see it's quite in pain at this point as this javelin pierces its skin. And it's definitely looking a little bit worse for wear, but still quite immobile, which means it's now time for the ghouls to act. And considering you've just pierced it through the thigh...
what about...
Gundren?
Yeah.
It's not his turn, it's the ghoul's turn to act. That's why I said it'll be interesting. Oh, my dear. Okay, your AC is 12. The ghoul that you've just pierced with the javelin is going to make an attack, and it is going to hit. So our friend here is going to try to claw you, and that definitely hits with 2d4. This could be okay. 4, 5, 6 points of piercing damage.
She is raging.
30.
Yes, she is raging.
Half said damage. I love this.
I love this. So you get 3 points of damage instead of go back to 33. All right. Boom, 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 boom. So we go 3 and we heal. There you go. Fantastic. Our next fellow here is going to try to make his way forward. It's going to make an attack at Crystal, and that hits with a 16.
How much health is Crystal?
I will tell you in a moment. 8 points of damage to our spider friend. That's no good. Right. Crystal takes a bit of a... She's here... As she takes a big slash across the base of her abdomen, this thing is clawing at her, trying to rip off parts of her body and starts to eat those parts that it pulls away at. Gundren witnesses this, and he sees the fray, and he just gets really, really angry as well and starts, "You're not going to stop me from getting to my brother!" And he charges in. Unfortunately, as he charges in, he mistimes the jump, and Crystal's feet, one of her legs, is in the way. Gundren trips, falls, slides along the ground, and actually lands right in between the legs of this ghoul that has this arrow protruding from its chest, and he's now point-blank range, prone on the ground, which brings us to the top of the round. Nitro, you're up.
Please.
I'll move closer to the doorway and get my Drake to move in a little bit further as well.
Sure.
And I'd like to take another pot shot at the
Well,
one
try
that
to
I've
get
just
closer
attacked.
to...
Go for it.
Cool. So this will be a cold shot again.
Mhm.
Well, that's definitely going to hit. That's dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, sure. That most definitely hits.
Yep. So we have another 21 points of damage, but this time I'll infuse it with fire as well from my Drake.
Give me Drake, yep.
Hey, I'm dropping my dice.
Oh,
That's
no.
a 6 on the dice.
So 27 points.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and this one was, which ghoul were you attacking?
The one that I've already hit with my
Okay,
arrow.
fantastic. It's probably a bit of overkill, but this thing is now going to the roasting from the Drake's imbued fire. You can smell the burnt flesh from the ghoul, but also from the flesh it was consuming prior to your intrusion. As it starts to roast, the ghoul with the arrow, a little bit of feather catches fire, so there's this sort of flame away from the actual ghoul as it starts to move around, as well as the rest of the ghoul starting to burn and char, but it slumps over to the floor backwards. This time, when it stops moving, it stays stopped moving. It's
Good.
not getting up. Crystal.
It is gross.
Crystal is up to go. It is very gross indeed. Crystal's a turn to attack. So she's going to make an attack, add 3 to the roll. 10 is not going to do it, unfortunately, in this instance. So it is Yetnet, it's your turn.
Crystal's character sheet.
Crystal doesn't get a character sheet as such, Tommy, but it's your turn. So what would you like to do? You've got a charred remains of a ghoul sitting there. You've got another ghoul who is clawing at the underside of Crystal, and you've got one that's still stuck behind the door.
The one that's going after Crystal.
Yep, go for it. Roll an attack. What are you going to attack with?
Crystal, you mean?
No, Crystal's had her turn. It's your turn now. Yeah, Net's turn.
Oh, I
She
thought I
missed.
had to roll for an attack.
No, she missed.
No.
You rolled a 7, and that's not going to do it. Just a reminder, the ghouls are very hungry, so there is a sense of urgency here. Yeah.
Oh,
Audio just dropped for a second there, Matt.
I know this
Are we back?
Yeah, it's back now.
Thank you.
So I know this sounds a bit crazy, but can I maybe? Oh wait, do I have my javelin back?
You've still got it in your hand, yes.
Can I bash this ghoul on their head with my morning star?
Yes, you can.
The one that's attacking Crystal
Now
and trying to knock this guy out.
with advantage, go for it.
12.
Roll again. Doesn't matter, that hits anyway. Yep, the 12 still hits. The 12 plays, so you definitely hit.
1d8.
So with your morning star, 1d8 plus 4 plus another 2 damage.
And please add a d6 for the fire as well.
Oh, hello.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
And
1d6.
1d6, so roll that as well. So you're on 13. 15 points of damage. Wow, fantastic. And this is the one that's still here. 15. Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, so the ghoul is lying there with the javelin through its thigh. You rip the javelin back out as you watch it start to claw at Crystal. Then you put the javelin to the side. You swing back with your morning star and you swing
on its head.
You swing straight for the head. And as you come through, you almost, because you're in rage, you just get so much weight behind it, and you swing, boom, and you just cleave the head of this ghoul clean off. Its shoulders and its headless neck are sort of just flailing around. It's still trying to scratch at this corpse. The head of it flies across the wall and smacks into the guy that's pinned behind the door. He takes this explosion of guts and gore across his chest. The headless part of the ghoul still flays around for a few more moments before it literally slumps forward, bang, onto the floor. It does continue to writhe around for a few more moments, and you just see pustules of globs of mess protruding from the neck, seeping out onto the cold rock floor before it stops to move altogether, which is going to bring us to the gentleman behind the door, who now has blood all over his chest. He's going to try and swing at our friend Gundren, who is lying on the ground, and he is going to hit Gundren as well, which is not very good. He's going to reach out and try and scratch his dwarven butt.
Wait, we can't see his
3,
face though.
4, 5 points of damage to Gundren. Gundren takes a slash across the back of one of his legs, and you hear him scream with pain as he screams out from this scratch. I will say too, metagaming here, we've never really had any problems with nightmares other than that first incident with the Nothic. So I'm very glad to say that even though we are playing in junior D&D rules, Charlotte doesn't seem to get scared by all this. I think she lives for the violence, which is kind of concerning at some point. All right, so let's see what happens next. It is now Gundren's turn. Gundren is flailing around after getting attacked by this ghoul. He's going to spend some of his movement to try and get back up, and he's going to turn back to this guy behind the door. Right, I'm going to have you, my old mate. And because he's overzealous and over-raging and carrying on and being quite silly and proving that he's not built for combat, he manages to get up and stumble forward, stumble closer to this guy at the door, even closer still, swings, but just misses. His swing with his pickaxe misses.
Can we see the guy's face behind the door?
You can. His leg is pinned behind the stone slab, but that's it. That brings us back to the top of the round. Nitro, you are up.
Can I see this guy that's pinned?
From where you are, you would have moved closer. If you are on the western side of the edge of the door, you would be able to see quite a lot of him still. He's only got sort of his leg pinned behind the door. Cool. The rest of him is pretty much visible from this slide.
I'll take a pot shot if I can and call this one as well.
Yeah. Is there a limit on the range of when you can call it? Because you are reasonably close. You're within sort of 10 feet of this.
As long as there's about 5 feet distance between us. So
there is 5 feet range.
You should be fine. What's that going to be as a cold shot? 12 to hit.
Oh, you were very lucky, sir. That hits. Extremely close, but yes, that hits.
Right, that's another end of the scale. So that's going to be 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage.
Yes.
This guy behind the door. So you loose this arrow, and because of, I guess, for whatever reason, the degree of difficulty, the arrow has to sort of bend time and space to get around this guy. It does hit, but it is a winging shot. It doesn't hit center mass as such.
Okay.
And you hear the creature, again, it doesn't scream, but you just hear it sort of slump and strain and try to then turn back its attention to Gundren as it's still trying to claw its way.
I'll yell out to Blaze, Blaze, get him! And I'll get my dragon to make an attack as well.
Yeah, go for it.
What is his attack? I haven't done this with the dragon yet.
No, you haven't. We didn't even know it had a name.
Yeah, well, I call it Blaze because it's a fire bait.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, that I thought I was gonna say actually said blade, not
But the eyes work well. That's 14 to hit for that one, so that'll hit obviously.
Does it? Yes.
1d6 plus 2, 7 points of biting om-nom damage.
7 points of nom damage. I like it. So the Drake flies forward, literally blazes across the space and lunges at this ghoul that is pinned behind the door. And because the ghoul has nowhere to go, there is just this massive amount. The Drake latches on to where you pretty much have your arrow lodged in this inside his shoulder and just starts biting and clawing, trying to rip away at this creature's flesh. And you can see the ghoul seems to be slowing in its movement. It is still trying to claw both at the Drake and at Gundren, but the arm movements seem to be slowing down exponentially at this point. Crystal, it is Crystal's turn. Is she going to try and reach over and smack this thing in the face?
Yeah.
Not on a 5, she's not. For a giant wolf spider, her aim is way off. Maybe she's just a bit too big and her depth perception is not really focusing up. However, Yetnet, you're now up. What would you like to do?
I want to stick my javelin in the side of this guy.
Go for it, by all means.
11 plus
Now,
6.
plus 6, 17.
7.
That most definitely hits. So
And then 1d6.
1d6 plus 4.
Plus 2, plus a d6.
So 6
6,
plus 4
7, 8, 9, 10.
plus 2.
11, 12.
Roll the d6 again and add the total to 12.
12.
So that's 14.
14.
14 points of damage. You only needed 1, so you come across this javelin and you just literally just smash it in. Where are you hitting?
In the leg.
In the leg or in the chest? All right, so you literally just make your way forward. Blaze sees you coming and just literally all of a sudden just detaches and jumps right out of the way as you literally swing true. Bang! The javelin smashes this thing through the chest. You almost pin this thing to the wall and it reaches up with a claw and then literally collapses in a heap stuck to the wall with your javelin.
Sleeping.
Oh, it's sleeping and it will be for a long time to come.
Like when I
Sleeping.
1,000 years.
And you are now out of combat, folks.
Good.
Wait, can we make the little that guy that's behind the door a doormat?
A doormat? Well, he's effectively lying in position where it would be a doormat. Gundren at this point picks himself up and dusts himself off. It's been a while since I've been in combat. I'm sorry, I'm not much use in that department.
Oh, I'm busy. I went into rage. Lazy you calling me a lizard.
Hey, but it got you angry enough to hit better, didn't it?
Yeah. You're never doing that again, otherwise I'll bite your head off.
She's still in rage.
Okay. I'll believe it.
All right.
Can I try and find out what they were chewing on?
Yes, you can. Go for it. Make an investigation check for me, please.
I'll take a natural 17 on the dice.
Yeah, sure. From looking around, you can see that there are bones with little bits of flesh and probably potentially little bits of marrow left in them strewn around the room. A basic investigation, you can see there are combinations of dwarf and orc corpses and bones lying around this establishment, orc skulls and things like that.
Wait, is Gundren a dwarf?
Gundren is a dwarf. Yeah. So there are effectively, basically the remains of dwarves and orcs that they've been gnawing on. But obviously got the attention of something that would potentially provide a much better meal. So they came running.
Gundren, you don't suppose these creatures have maybe eaten the brother that's there in the
Oh, well, I certainly hope not, but I will say these bones look like they've been here for some time. Nundro and Tharvin and I have only been gone about a week since I went to Neverwinter and came back, so...
Yeah, well...
I definitely hope that's not the case.
I don't think it's going to be his brother. It's just bones that they're chewing on, not... there's no flesh here.
You have in this space some old bedrolls and stuff. It looks like it was a guard barracks from what you can discern. There's a doorway that leads out and to the west. There's the doorway that leads south, which you came in. Where would you like to go next?
What do you think, Nitro?
Well, have we found the room or the smell that we've been smelling? Is that this room?
No, from where you are, the noise that you could hear, the boom, does seem to be louder, but the smell has gone softer.
Okay. Well, we've still got that sound to investigate. Do you want to try and head in that direction?
Yes. Let's Gundren, do you want to head in that direction too?
I'm happy to follow your lead on this one.
Right.
You're better at the adventuring than I am.
Let's go.
Fly a kite.
All right. So, are we heading south back towards south and around? Because you could head south, follow the passage up to the north, which is where the sound's coming from, or you can head west and head into the mine shafts and excavations and then head north.
Mine shaft excavations.
Excavations and then north, yeah. Let's go then.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So you make your way through into that space. You can see there are indeed, it's almost like a maze of half-excavated passageways and things where they obviously didn't find what they were looking for, so they've started digging a tunnel elsewhere. There is a mishmash of stuff through here. The tunnels are all about 10 feet wide, and they lead in all sorts of directions, but you can see, you get a clear understanding, you can see that they head south. There are some that you make your way through that can head west and north as well. Is there a particular direction you want to head?
So just be trying to...
Where the noise is coming from.
Exactly. Try and pick up that noise and get there.
Yeah, noises are coming from the north, so you have to head west and then north first.
Yep.
West
and north, yeah.
Yep, sure. As you make your way through, can you both roll for perception, please?
I certainly can. 14 for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4.
A 4 for you? Okay. As you make your way through, who's leading?
Me.
You're leading.
Actually, Nitro is.
So Nitro is leading, and because of the narrow parts of the passageway, you need to go single file. So I'm assuming you'll put Gundren in between the two of you?
Yeah, keep Gundren safe in between us all.
Yep, sure. So as you make your way through with Nitro and Blaze leading the way and Yetnet and Crystal bringing up the rear, Crystal is struggling to sort of get through the passageway. She's making it work. You head off and you dart down and through passageways trying to find your way through. And as you are making your way forward, due to the speed, due to Crystal causing delays because she's obviously a lot larger and can't get through as quick, there is a little bit of a separation between you. Gundren is sort of keeping pace, but Yetnet and Crystal are sort of falling a little bit behind. As you make your way through these tunnels and these catacombs and these systems here, you turn a corner, Nitro, and because of her perception being so low, Yetnet doesn't see which way you turn, and she actually turns in a different direction. So you effectively have been split at this point. And while you're heading off in a different direction, what you don't see is a strange oozing presence or entity drop from the ceiling behind you and start to slowly creep, oozing towards you, creeping up from behind, getting ready to pounce upon you. And that is where we're going to finish for tonight. Yetnet is about to be set upon by some nasty little beastie, and she will potentially be going into combat on her own, which is going to be very, very exciting as well. With Crystal as well. Well, we'll see how we go. Crystal hasn't been that good in a fight at this point, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We, my friends, are getting very, very close. We are in the final dungeon of this campaign. It is getting late. I've got someone yawning here next to me, so when you were getting close to finishing up there. We will see what happens next week when we come back. As always, Mr. Benjamin Wood, thank you very much for joining us. It is always a pleasure to have you at this table, even though it is virtual. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're very welcome, guys.
We'll see you back next week, I hope.
Yes, definitely.
We do it all again. It'd be quite fantastic to have you.
Hopefully not as long as this one.
Well, I don't know. We're getting to the end game, so we'll see how we go. It is a big dungeon, as you're all aware. You saw the map earlier. Big thank you to everyone who's been watching. We really appreciate it. Mad shout out to our Patreon supporters as well. Check back on the channel. Yes, we know StrikeDeck's been watching as well. We appreciate everything that StrikeDeck's allowed us to do too. We will see you back here next week, folks. Check out the channel. We've got some Marvel content coming for you this week, which is very, very exciting, and also some spooky paranormal investigative stuff too, which we're very excited about as well. We will see you back here on the channel very soon. I've been Matt. This has been Charlotte. That guy over there has been Ben. We've been HB Gaming, playing some D&D, and we'll see you back here very, very soon. Until then, though, folks, it is bye for now.
Peace.